Your name is David, isn't it?
Yeah, David Gardner, yeah.
Yeah, and I was David Gardner.
Yeah, actually, David Gardner.
Now,
yeah.
do you think your name influenced you to come into this trade at all?
I don't think it did really. There must be somebody there, mustn't there? But as far as the family tree, they're all farmers really.
Yeah.
So my dad was a farmer, and grandparents and great grandparents, they're all farmers in the file basically.
Yeah, amazing.
But this is very similar, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. We still farm. Yeah, I mean, I got into it by default originally, really.
Yeah.
Being lazy like most teenagers, and I was doing it anyway. When I was young, I was helping my dad, and
So your dad did something similar?
he was a farmer who sort of diversified into growing a few plants.
Oh, he diversified?
Yeah, just a little bit, and now I have two.
But how did he sell them?
He used to sell them to wholesalers.
Oh, right.
So he didn't actually sell them off the farm. Somebody used to come around and
Right.
take them in job lots, and then they used to go on.
So it was you who had the idea of doing it as a market stall?
Well, I have two brothers as well.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so they are a couple of years older than I am, 4 years older, and they originally left school, went to work,
Yeah.
weren't very happy with working for other people. One worked on a farm and the other worked on a nursery.
Right.
And they weren't very happy with that, so they, in the spare time, and then I joined in later, sort of like built this while they were still working. They started. Dad sort of wasn't the instigator, but he kind of joined in. So from the beginning, it was all equal. Everybody was equal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't sort of like my dad who started it and then we came into it. He sort of joined in on an equal basis from the beginning.
Now, how come you came to Ulverston? Because you're not local, are you?
No.
I think of you living down the road.
It was about when we decided, because where our nursery is fairly, well, it's not remote, but it's well out in the country, that we needed to sort of like, we were producing these plants. How are we going to sell them? Well, markets seemed a good idea, and we were looking. You can't just sort of go to any market. Particularly then, we're talking with Ulverston, it would be 35 years ago, so that'll be 75, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Most markets already had 2 or 3 people selling plants. I know the local ones, Preston,
Right.
there was
Yeah.
6-year waiting list.
Yeah.
So we just had a look round and we came to Ulverston. My brother came originally, and they said, well, we can't get you on at the moment, but if there's a vacancy, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
And then about 6 months later, I think they rang up.
So where are you from?
It's in the Fylde, right in the middle of the rural Fylde between Preston and Kirkham.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's how much of a journey? That's
it's an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah. About 60 miles.
Yeah,
60
it's
miles.
a bit less than 60. Yeah.
Yeah.
55 to 60. I've never looked exactly.
Right.
To be honest.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you've become a fund of local information. I mean, I come to you for my early potatoes, and you can tell me which ones to buy for depending on where my allotment is.
Well, that's a big part of the job is just talking to people, really.
Yeah.
Particularly, if any people want advice, then I just give them the most honest advice I can. That's all. Yeah.
And what I was surprised to learn is that you're not buying in a lot of these plants, you're actually growing them yourself.
Right, the aim is to grow as much as possible, and we've got it up to probably about 75%.
Right.
Now.
Yeah.
But many years ago we resisted when many places like ours became garden centres where I come from.
Yeah.
And some of the major garden centres were nurseries like ours originally.
Right.
But we didn't really want to do that. We just wanted to grow plants and sell plants, and we've tried to sort of stay true to that because that's what we like doing. Basically.
Right, now you've got a market stall all set up, and it's now just 8:30,
Yeah.
okay? When did you start today? When did you start your work day? What time did you get up?
I got up at 3:30.
Right.
Yeah, I left. I don't live in a nursery. I live in sort of the nearest town, which is
Right.
Kirkham. I have a brother who lives there. There is a house there.
Yeah.
Who lives there. So it takes me about 20 minutes, half an hour to get there. So I had my coffee and a bit of a bite to eat. Went to the nursery where the van is already loaded.
Right. Oh, it's already loaded. How come? You load it the night before?
We do, because it's quite a big job actually.
Yeah. Well, I can see. Yes.
There,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so we load it the night before, and so I just picked it up.
But you don't load it from scratch the night before, do you?
No, we have a run of 5 markets through the
Right.
week. We start on a Tuesday, and basically all we do from then on is restock
Yeah.
until Saturday night.
So what market are you at yesterday? Where were you yesterday?
Well, we were at Milnthorpe, but that wasn't
Milnthorpe?
me. Yeah, I don't do all our markets.
No.
So we were at Milnthorpe yesterday. So yeah, he comes back from Milnthorpe.
Yeah.
And we reload.
So you're a finely tuned organisation, really.
Yeah, we have to be.
Yeah.
We have stock lists. We know exactly what's in the van.
And when do you do the growing of all this? In the daytime?
Well, there are several of us.
Yes.
So they're doing it while I'm here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Every day.
So how big a team have you got?
There's me and my 2 brothers, and we've got 2, one absolutely full time,
Right.
and one sort of like 30 hours.
Yeah.
So it's 5 of us.
And you've ended up the guy who deals with the public. The others,
Well, it was.
aren't they envious that you?
No. I thought, well, I do both. I do it for
Yeah.
3 days.
But do we see them come here? Your brothers?
You used to see my oldest brother.
Right.
But
Okay.
The reason I came here about 4 years or 5 years is because he was a diabetic and he lost his legs below
Right.
the knee.
I
So
see.
he did this for 30 years.
Yeah.
And when that happened, we had to make a decision. We didn't want to give it up because it was a good
Yeah.
business. So at that time, I was going somewhere else on a Saturday. I didn't have a market on a Thursday. I had a Wednesday and a Saturday. And so in the emergency, I just kept him.
Yeah.
I wanted to keep it going. And then when things had settled down a bit, I gave up my Wednesdays and Saturdays.
And are you saying that he's still working on
Oh, he
for the
works
nursery?
full-time, yeah, he works full-time.
Gosh.
Yeah, he's a vital, full part of
Right.
the business, yeah. But he's lucky in that respect because other people that the same thing has happened to would struggle, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
If they work for a company or.
So he can't move around too easily?
He can, yeah.
Oh, he can?
Yeah, he can, but he's below the knee.
Right.
2 prostheses below the knee, so
Right.
he can walk with sticks or he won't use a wheelchair.
Right.
But he can knock about, and he does a lot of the planting. The actual.
Right. So he's working standing up at a table, a bench.
Sitting down or
Oh,
standing
standing
up.
up. I see. Yeah.
He works every day. Yeah.
Yeah.
He works every day. Yeah, it's tough.
And even though you're fairly close, you have been all this time. You get on well together, do you? Or,
We're fine.
Yeah.
All the time,
Yeah. It strikes me you're a pretty easygoing kind of
I'm
guy.
the easygoing one, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest, and I suppose they were always fighting because they're nearer in age, so I sort of kept out of it, really.
Right.
Yeah, I just kept my head down, yeah.